Hello, I think I am live. Let's see, it says live video is starting. I think I'm live. Okay, I am. I'm going live from my laptop. It's just easier. It's a bigger screen. I'm going to be able to see your comments, so we will see. I know comments show up on when I'm on my phone, but not sure about when I'm on my laptop. So whatever, all is good. If you're brand new to this group and you don't know who I am Brianna. I am the founder of this group, and I help teen girls and young women and depression, anxiety, self-loathing, suicidal thoughts, so many different things. I don't even know how to sum it all up, what I do. But welcome if you're tuning in, whether you're coming in here live or you're watching the replay. Let me know that you're here. I always love getting engagement, although I'm hoping I could see comments. I don't know, because I am coming from my laptop, so I don't know if comments will show up on here, but we're going to do our best. And even if I am not able to see your comments, I will go back and look on my phone, and if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to respond. So I wanted to pop on. I haven't done a Facebook Live in a little while now. It's probably more than a little while. Usually when I go silent, it doesn't mean that I don't love you guys, but I am incredibly busy. Almost every day I'm talking to parents and girls who are struggling. They're in the height of their mental health issues, and so I'm getting, I have a lot of calls with parents and girls. And then I also, I have my group coaching sessions that I have with girls, my private sessions. So I'm doing everything, right? So I'm juggling a lot. But I do want to make it a point to come in here and do more of these Facebook Lives, because it is important, because I know there are a lot of you parents in here that are struggling, and your daughter may not be getting better. Maybe she's getting worse. Uh-oh. I hope this is working. It says your live stream is experiencing performance issues. Don't know what's going on here. I'm hoping I am still live. If this is, I may have to go on my laptop. This is what happens when we go live. You never know what's going to happen. You just have to roll with it. So I'm going to keep rolling with it, and I'm really hoping that this is recording and you're getting this. And if not, I'll have to come in here and do this again. But it says I'm live, and it says a few of you are here, so I think we're good. Hopefully we're good. So anyways, I think this is an important topic. The topic of this Facebook Live is, the 3 biggest myths around mental health that is keeping your daughter stuck, okay? So let's just dive in, because I don't have a ton of time. I do have a group coaching session with my girls in just a little bit. So I want to really give you as much as I possibly can in a short amount of time. And so I think one of the biggest myths is we have to look at looking at the depression, or whether it's anxiety, or it's looking at the self-harm, or it's looking at the suicidal thoughts, or it's looking at the eating disorder, or it's looking at these things, and it's going from an angle of we have to fix that. That is the thing that we have to fix, right? And really, these are the symptoms, okay? If you've seen my masterclass called Healing the New Medicine for Anxiety and Depression, I speak about this in my masterclass, that we're trying to fix the wrong things. Because if we're trying to fix the anxiety, if we're trying to fix the depression, we're missing something there, because it's almost like we're putting a Band-Aid on a bigger issue. Okay, and so what we need to do is we need to uncover what is the root. What is the root issue that is contributing, that is creating that depression in the first place? What is the root issue that is creating that anxiety? What is the root issue that is creating that eating disorder, right? I got on a call just this weekend with a young woman who is struggling big time, and her parents were obviously on the call as well. And it was almost like it was a tornado of so many different issues that she was struggling with. It was eating disorder, it was anxiety, it was depression, it was substance abuse, it was, so suicidal thoughts. So all of those things she was struggling with. So not just one, she had all of them. I call it like, it's almost like the perfect storm. Okay, I hope I'm getting notified that there's issues, but I see I'm still going live, so I'm just rolling with this, and I am praying that this is recording and this is going to all of you guys. Maybe this is my lesson. Next time I won't go on my laptop, I will go on my phone, because I don't know, laptops seem to be a little wonky with whatever's going on here. But okay, so if we take the eating disorder, right? The eating disorder, it's not about just the food. Okay, that is a part of it, but this is the symptom of a deeper issue. And so when we try to fix, like, okay, I need to get my daughter eating 3 meals a day, and I want to get her eating healthy, and I want her to, all the things, right? I'm not saying that those are not important. They are important, but what needs to happen is we need to get underneath. What is underneath the eating disorder that started it in the first place, right? That's where we need to go, because as long as we just look at the food and say, okay, you just need to eat healthy, just eat health, like, that's not going to work. It doesn't work, and it keeps these girls stuck in the same symptoms that keep coming up in different ways, and they're trying to get a grasp, they're trying to figure out, like, what can I do? And it's because these root issues are still not being dealt with, and they're still not being healed. And this is not just, I use the example of eating disorders. That is one example. But depression is something else. Anxiety is something else. Suicidal ideation is something else. What is underneath all of that, right? And the traditional approach of therapy and medication, well, medication obviously doesn't look at that stuff. It's just giving, your daughter a pill and then hoping that it works, right? But if you're looking at the therapy model as a whole, is that really getting underneath and getting into the root issues of whatever is going on, right? That is so important. And majority of the girls and young women that come to work with me have tried all the therapy and done all the medication, and nothing has really worked for them, and they're at a loss, right? And so they never really got to the root issues. Why? Or how do I know that? Well, obviously, if they had gotten to the root issues, we wouldn't be getting on a call, right? Once the root issues are dealt with, it's like, it's a different story, right? But we have to go at it in a different way. So again, going back to what I said, the symptoms, okay, you have symptoms, which is anxiety, self-harm. Self-harm is a symptom. Depression is a symptom. Anxiety is a symptom. Suicidal ideation is a symptom of a deeper issue that is going on underneath. And we got to get underneath. It's almost like you're digging a hole. You got to keep digging, dig. And then you get to the bottom and it's like, oh, shit. That's where we needed to go, right? So we got to get to the root issues. And this is the thing that in the traditional approaches oftentimes are not going deep enough. It's surface level stuff. I often hear girls tell me that in therapy, it's just, talking about their week, how things are going, but they're not going deep, And so that's something that has to be looked at, right? Definitely has to be looked at. So that's number one. Number two, another myth that is getting in the way of your daughter feeling better and really overcoming whatever mental health challenge she's struggling with is this. It has to take so long for your daughter to get better. It doesn't. This length of time is one of the things that when parents come to me, even when girls come to me, and I say I have a 12-week coaching program that is going to change the trajectory of your whole entire life, and I get parents and I get girls that don't believe it, that don't think it's possible, that are like, oh, how could that even be? 12 weeks? Because guess what? We have been programmed to think that with the traditional approach of the medication and therapy, we think that takes years. And you know what? It does take years. And even doing that years and years and years, you might still not get the results, because a large portion of my clients have done all of that. Years and years of therapy hasn't worked. Years and years of medication hasn't worked, right? So we're under this illusion that it has to take so long for your daughter to start feeling better. It doesn't. And if you're just coming in, if you're just tuning in, my apologies. I am on my laptop, and for some reason I'm not getting comments or anything here. So if you drop a comment or a question or whatever, I promise I will look at it later and respond. But right now on my laptop, it's not showing me. If you guys are writing in or anything, I'm not seeing it. I'm just seeing me. So anyways, next time I will go on my phone. But if you're writing anything, just know that I will respond just as soon as I can. So this, going back to what I was saying about this illusion that it has to take so long for your daughter to get better. It doesn't. It doesn't have to take so long for your daughter to get better, as long as your daughter has an effective approach that is going to get her the results that she deserves to have. Now, when we look at what approach are you using to get your daughter in a better mental and emotional state, a lot of approaches are just not working. And so this is why it is taking so damn long to get your daughter feeling better again, because everything you're trying is just not working. Medication may or may not be working. Maybe it's helping a little bit, but maybe it's not helping a lot. Therapy, maybe it's helpful in the moment. It makes her feel better when she goes in, but 2 days later she's having a panic attack, and so it's not really working for her. So it's like it's a short-term fix, but it's not really like long-term. And that's the thing too. It's like, for when we're talking about mental health, you want a long-term solution. You do not want quick fixes. Quick fixes don't do anything to help your daughter, right? So you want a long-term solution. So this whole idea that it has to take so long is not true. It doesn't have to take long. It doesn't have to take a long time. I have girls coming into my program. I have young women coming into my program all of the time, and I start seeing changes within them. Some girls 4 weeks in, 5 weeks in, 6 weeks in, 12 weeks later, they're having big transformations. It's like, holy mother of God, that is incredible. And I see it happen so often that I'm not surprised by it. I'm excited about it, and I love it, and I cheer my clients on. And if you've been in this group, you should have already seen, like, I share their stories. Like, their stories is not hush hush, right? We do video interviews. I have them share their experience, because I think it's important for you parents to know that there is another approach out there that is not the mainstream approach. It's something different, but this thing that's different could actually help your daughter, right? And so anyways, I see girls changing their lives quickly. And again, I'm not talking about quick fixes. I'm not talking about a girl's like, oh my God, I feel amazing. And then 2 weeks later, she's like down in the pits and feeling horrible, right? This is long term. This is what you want for your daughter, right? Because what happens, like, depending on how old your daughter is, when she goes off to college, right? And do you want your daughter to be self-sufficient? Do you want your daughter to feel like she's fully capable? Do you want your daughter to feel like she can handle any challenge that's going to come her way? Because what I see a lot of girls, and I speak with a lot of these young women that are having to withdraw from college their freshman year, sometimes a different year, because their mental health went to shit. Okay? Their mental health went to shit, and now they got to focus on their mental health, because now it's so important that they can't not, right? And so I see this happen so often. The panic attacks get out of control. The depression is debilitating. They can't even get out of bed. They can't even go to class. And so this is what can happen when we don't get control of it early on, right? It gets worse as time goes. So that's the second myth, that it has to take so long for your daughter to get better. It doesn't, as long as your daughter has the right approach and it's effective and it works. Okay? The other thing that I want to say is, here's another myth, that there is only one way, and that is the traditional approach. Okay? How many of you parents believe this? Look, no shame, no blame if you believe this. I love you guys all so much, but we got to call out these myths one by one. And so this traditional approach that we have, it's been ingrained in our heads, in our minds for as long as we can remember, is that the doctor and the medication and the therapy, like, that is the way. Not only is that the way, that is the only way. And it's not. It is not the only way. And, it was interesting. I want to share something. There was a parent in this group who said to me, I was sharing, it was actually a mom who shared her daughter's story. Her daughter finished my program, had incredible results and transformation, and shared her story in our group. And there was a parent that wrote something like, what makes you qualified because you're not a doctor? Okay, so here's a myth that we have to bust right now. Are the doctors the only people that can help your daughter? And if the doctors were working so well, why is it such a struggle to get your daughter feeling healthy and happy and loving herself again? Right? So if the doctors had if they knew everything, and if they knew how to fix this and heal and all the things, you wouldn't be searching for other things that are working. Maybe you wouldn't be searching for residential treatment facility centers. Maybe you wouldn't be searching for other therapists if the therapy model was working. So the thing with this is, we have to open up our minds to new possibilities. Okay? If you're going to be just narrow-minded and only think that there is one way, you're missing out on the bigger picture of what can happen for your daughter with a new approach. So I want to share that. And so going back to this comment of this parent who said, what makes me qualified because I'm not a doctor? You know what? What makes me qualified is that I've helped hundreds of girls and young women transform their lives. I've helped hundreds of girls and young women end depression and anxiety and self-harm and suicidal thoughts and self-loathing, so they can be the best versions of themselves. So if any of you are wondering what qualifies me to do this incredible work that I'm doing every day tirelessly, because this is my passion, this is what I am here to do, this is who I am here to be on this world, right? In this world, like this is the work that I'm meant to be doing here. But if you're thinking that only the doctor can do this for your daughter, or only a therapist because they have the backing of whatever schooling that they got. And by the way, I do have a master's degree in spiritual psychology, and I've spent 10 years learning everything that I am now teaching to my girls and young women to help them get the results consistently. That's the thing. So it's up to you whether you want to really focus in on the traditional approach, the therapy, the medication, trying the different medications, trying the different therapists one by one, and wondering when you're going to hit a good therapist, or it might be that a new approach is needed. Okay? So those are the 3 myths that I want to mention. There's also something that I want to add into this, but for the sake of time, I will be very brief, is that a lot of girls need to understand that they have to shift their focus. Okay, and what I mean by this is a lot of girls and young women are addicted to their suffering and they don't even realize it. Okay, your daughter may fall into this category. She may be addicted to her suffering and not even realize it. Okay, and this is where it has to come in, that your daughter has to start shifting her focus on what does she want, where does she want to go, who does she want to be. This is so important, okay? Because as long as your daughter doesn't have any sort of forward focus on where she's going or who she wants to be or how she wants to show up in this world, she's only going to see what's right in front of her, and what's right in front of her it may really be doom and gloom. It may be suicidal thoughts. It may be depression. It may be anxiety. It may be like, I can't even get out of bed in the morning. It is that bad, right? And so when your daughter is so trained to focus on what she is seeing right now, right here, that she can't see everything that she can be, she's missing something. And you're missing something too if your daughter's not getting this. And so this is one of the key pieces of the work that I do with my clients, the girls and young women that come to me, is because we got to get them out of that addiction to their suffering. We got to get them out of that narrow-minded thinking of, God, this is who I am, with the depression, with the anxiety, with the overwhelm, the stress. I hate myself. I'm worthless. I'm no good. I'm a mess. I'm a waste of space. Whatever shit they tell themselves, they believe it. And then this creates the reality, which is another thing. The last thing that I want to mention, and I'm going to wrap this up, is also there needs to be a shift in your daughter's beliefs. This is the other thing that the whole the mental health world doesn't really talk about, and it doesn't focus on your daughter's beliefs. Your daughter's beliefs create her reality. This is not an opinion. This is a fact. And so when your daughter has beliefs that, now these are core beliefs that she may not even know are there. They can be like way back here, way back in the subconscious mind, and she doesn't even know they are there. But I'll give you an example. A core limiting belief your daughter may have is it's not okay to feel good. Okay, now I know that might sound crazy for some of you. It's not okay to feel good, but if your daughter has been struggling for a long time, let me tell you this: there is some belief that she has that it's not okay to feel good, or there's some belief that life has to be hard, that it has to be so much about struggle. Now, how do we know what beliefs are playing out for your daughter? Well, it's actually pretty simple. Just look at your daughter's life. Your daughter's life is a reflection of her beliefs, of her thoughts, what she believes to be true about herself and about life. Now, it doesn't mean it's true. She can have beliefs that are completely not true, right? She could have a belief that she's worthless. She could have a belief that she is a waste of space. Now, we know none of these beliefs are actually true, but if your daughter believes these beliefs about herself, then it's almost like life is a mirror. Okay? Life is a mirror of her beliefs. And so when she has beliefs of unworthiness, when she has beliefs around self-loathing, when she has beliefs around hating herself, then life is a mirror. And what I mean by that is her life is going to mirror these thoughts, meaning how can your daughter be happy when she has thoughts of, I hate myself, or I'm a waste of space, or I don't deserve to be here, or I don't deserve to feel good? How does that align with feeling happy? How does that align with your daughter loving herself? They don't. None of it aligns. It's like cancel, cancel, cancel. That doesn't work, right? And so it's very, very important that when we talk about what is required for your daughter to step into her best life, what is required for your daughter to overcome her mental health challenges, is she has to create new beliefs about herself. And this is another thing that I love to do with my clients. I am an expert in teaching my clients mindset and beliefs and creating their best lives, and it starts with their beliefs. We can't gloss over this, and this is the thing that is often, it's totally missing in the traditional approach. It's not even there, this whole thing with beliefs and your thoughts, and they may call it like intrusive thoughts, and those aren't really helping you, but it doesn't go deeper than that. And so these girls still struggle with those same thoughts, those same beliefs, and that doesn't really help, right? And so your daughter, almost like if your daughter is struggling, she almost needs like an overhaul, like a complete mindset shift, right? And this is what I teach. This is what I teach in my program. So for the sake of time, because I do have a group coaching session with my lovely clients, I'm going to wrap this up, and I really, really, really hope that this recorded. Next time I'm going to go on my phone so I can see your comments, but don't worry, if you have any comments or questions, whether you're watching the live or the replay, I will make sure to go back and check those out and answer if you have any questions. And if you have any questions about anything that I said, please leave them below, because I am here. Where mental health is with so many of these girls, it's horrible. It's horrible. The amount of girls that are coming to me that have been in residential treatment facilities, they've tried the medication, they've tried, the therapy, they've seen the doctors, and they still want to die. I had last week was such a busy week. I enrolled 6 or 7 girls and young women into my coaching program. And I swear, sometimes on these calls, I just it breaks my heart, some of the things that I hear. And I had a call with a mom and a dad and a teenage girl, and this teenage girl tried to kill herself just a few months ago. Excuse me. And she asked her dad, so this is 2 nights before we had this call, this teenage girl asked her dad, why didn't you just let me die? And it just makes me want to cry when I even think of that, right? Because she did try to end her life. And thank God she is still here. But hearing things like that these girls don't value themselves, they have no worth, they have no self-worth, they have no self-love, they don't know why they're here, they don't even want to be here, and it shouldn't be that way for any single girl. And so if your daughter is struggling, she doesn't have to struggle like this for a moment longer if you're truly ready for a different kind of approach, a different kind of way. And if you're still skeptical and you're not sure, check out my masterclass called Healing the New Medicine for Anxiety and Depression. I will leave the link below. You can also check out, there are so many video testimonials with all of my clients who are talking about, their success and their transformation. If you scroll down in this group, you're going to see post after post of parents who have put their daughters through my program and them talking about their transformation for their daughters and what's happened within a 12-week span. Again, relatively short amount of time to get massive results. Not short term. We're talking about long term. Because the work that we do, is changing the trajectory of your daughter's entire life. Okay? This is not a short-term fix. That's not what we do here. Okay? So if you want to learn more, again, I'll leave the link below to my masterclass. And if you'd like to book a call with me, I'll also leave that link below. This call would be for you, your daughter, and also if you have a spouse or a partner. I will say this, though. Your daughter has to want the help. I'm not here to drag anyone along the threshold of transformation if they don't want it. Okay? It doesn't serve anyone, and it's a waste of everyone's time. Your daughter has to want the help. She has to want to get better. She doesn't have to be there 100%, but she has to want to get better. And if she doesn't, I'm not the right person to work with your daughter. Okay? But if your daughter is wanting the help, if your daughter has been struggling and it's been going on long enough and you are ready to see a transformation, you're ready to see your daughter smiling brightly, you're ready to see your daughter hug you and smile and like have those moments of pure joy and see her happy again, you know, and see her really loving herself and taking care of herself, because now she's prioritizing herself and her mental health. I mean, if that's what you are ready for, then definitely book a call with me, and we can see if this is a fit. Okay, so with that, I will let all of you guys go, but I'm sending you all massive love and hugs. I know this is very difficult if your daughter is struggling with her mental health. I know it feels like, is there anything that can help? Is there anything that can change this? And I'm telling you there is. I'm telling you that if you are in this group, then you are here for a reason. And if you're watching this Facebook Live, you are also watching this for a reason. There are no coincidences. So if you've watched this long and you've been captivated with what I have to say, then don't stop here. What I'm offering you right now is limited, right? I can only, as far as what I can offer any of you parents, whether it's me responding to a question or me doing a Facebook Live, that's minimal compared to what can happen when your daughter gets the right approach, the right help, the right support, and starts making those changes. I can't do that for your daughter through you. It has to be through my program, right? And if it's not for you, if this is not your jam, that's cool. Find something that's going to work for your daughter. But if you're resonating with what I am saying and you've tried all the other things and nothing has been working, then maybe it is time to actually get some results and get them quickly. Because here's the last thing that I want to say, one last thing. We take for granted that we have so much time on our hands to get this under control. And I'm here to tell you that we don't. Okay? Every day, girls are taking their lives. Every single day. I don't even know what the numbers are. I don't know the stats off the top of my head. It's a crazy, messed up number. The amount of teenage girls and young women that are ending their lives because they don't think that they are capable of living, or they don't love themselves, or they don't see a point to being here. And that breaks my heart. And there should be no parent that should go through life having to grieve the loss of their daughter because they didn't get to it quickly enough, because their daughter wanted to kill. It just makes me so sad, because I know this is happening. I know this is happening, and I know this is happening to so many parents here in this group. And so if you want a different approach, if you want your daughter back, not to her old self, not the old version of your daughter. I'm talking about new and improved version. I'm talking about your daughter being her best self. If that's what you want, this is what we do, because we're not just healing. We're not just changing some beliefs. We're going big time with transformation here. And I'm teaching your daughter, we didn't get into this. This is a whole nother topic of a Facebook Live. I'm teaching your daughter how to love herself. And that right there is the most important thing, because these girls who are trying to kill themselves, these girls who are having suicidal thoughts, they don't love themselves. They don't know how. And this is also another big, major missing piece with this whole mental health, what do we call it? The Western medicine, or the traditional approach. How many therapists are focusing in on teaching your daughter how to love herself? How many doctors are even saying that? Or the doctors don't have time. They don't know any of this. There's no focus on self-love. It's medication. Take the medication. Hope that works. If it doesn't, we'll find another medication. I'm not against medication. Okay, so I don't want to get comments saying, oh my God, you're against medication, you're a horrible person. I'm not against medication if that's what your daughter needs. But I'm saying if your daughter truly wants to heal, she's going to need more than just medication. Okay, there's so much more I could talk about. I'm feeling all the things that can come forward right now, and I can go talk about trauma, and I could talk about many other things, but I don't have time for that because I do have a group coaching session with my girls that are in my program. So I do need to run. But if this sparked something inside of you, if you've watched this far or this much of this and you're like, Brianna, we've tried everything and nothing has worked. Maybe we should give this a shot. Then reach out to me. Like I said, there are no coincidences. You are watching this. You are here in this group for a reason. Don't let that reason be for nothing. So I'm here for you guys. So I'm just sending you all a big, massive love, and have a great morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you happen to be in the world. And if you have any questions, leave them below. Again, my apologies for having this set up on my laptop because I couldn't see any questions, or if you were commenting or whatever, I couldn't see anything. But next time I'll do it on my phone. Okay, much love. Mwah.